welcome back to Hermitcraft. All right. Well, as you can see, I'm getting started with getting this lake filled in. Dig up the sand, dig up the clay, put down, well, actually pretty much anything in its space. And, just to mop up the water and fill the space. And then whatever dirt I have is going on top. Because, I want the grass to spread and look good and all that. So, I've been working on that, and it's going to be a little bit slow because I can tell that what I'm going to have to do is, as I cut trees, I'm going to have to shave like a layer or two of dirt off of all the hills around here. Probably ought to get a good bunch off of that. And, bring it out here to fill in the ground as I get this sand and clay dug out of here. Because I do want to have that available to use. Now, on the subject of Yon Fish Farm, in response to questions that many people had in the comments of yesterday's video, you will note that the roof is only partial. It's only over the player occupied area. The rest of it is roofless, including, of course, the water. And I am aware also that not only does water being open to the sky give you better drop rates, if it's raining, you get about a 20% increase in drop rates. So that's cool. Now, I went a little farther. In the comments, someone suggested that I check out Panda 4994's recent new design, and that's what this is, by the way. I have switched my design over to that. It's kind of hard to tell because I built the thing out of the same cobblestone everything else is, and so on, but I don't care about that. And I included the redstone bits on the end here that he says are for folks on servers with a high ping. And a high ping, that's me. I generally have a ping of anywhere from 130 to 150 or higher. In fact, in the past, I have had rare occasions where my ping would go as high as 4 or 6,000. Yeah. And somebody I know once told me that any ping higher than 25 he considered to be unplayable. You wouldn't want to live where I do. Guarantee you that. Anyway, I spent a lot of time thinking about the thing because after I switched it over to the Panda design, I tested it out for a little while, and it works a lot better. So the functionality of it is no longer an issue. It works great. But am I going to, before I go to sleep at night, log in, go into that thing, set up an AFK fishing session, and then just leave it that way overnight? 99% of the time, the answer is going to be no, because that's when I do my uploads, generally speaking, because my internet works better at night when there are fewer people in the local area using it. And so, I don't know, if I got like a whole bunch of stuff I need to smelt and I'm waiting for that, I might go in there for an hour or two or something like that. But am I going to spend 12-hour sessions inside that box? No. Very seriously doubt it. Anyway, I did also tell myself that if I decided to keep it, I have to make it look good. So that means that that one is going to be torn down completely. And I've decided I'm going to rebuild it out that way, on the shore, overlooking the ocean. And try to make it look like some kind of a cabin resort-ish sort of thing, or vacation cabin or something like that. At least on the outside. On the inside, I don't give a crap what it looks like. On the outside, though, I do want people who see it to say, hey, that's not an ugly cobblestone box. Anyway. So that's part of what's going on here, and I'm going to be working on that, and I'll probably get that thing taken care of in the next episode. For right now, other things. Off that way, not too awfully far, I saw, while exploring the local vicinity, that there is a village over there. So I want to head over that way and check the place out. Box in any villagers I find. You know, I got close enough to see it was a village. I did not go any closer because, you know, I just wanted to not mess with that until I actually went there officially. So I am going to wait a little bit, and then when the sunrise comes up, I'm going to head over there and we'll check that place out. Meanwhile, while I'm waiting for that and taking the trip, here is a clip about a recent trip way up north in a boat to get some sand. Well, actually, I was after cactus. Sand was a side issue. Anyway, there it is. And hey, looky here. Desert. And not only that, a desert temple. All right. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't expect a desert temple, so that's kind of a bonus. Well, it's maybe a bonus. What? That was weird. You see that? I got out of it, went over here, turned around, and it zoomed back in from over there, from there down to here. Whoosh. Weird. But anyway, here's what I came for. Yeah, cactus. And honestly, I could make do nicely with just one that I get back to the base. But, yeah. Alright. Desert Temple. I'm interested. But I tell you what, I am going to check on something, and I'll be right back. Alright, I just had to check which desert this was, and as it turns out, this is the designated mining desert. Whoa. This is actually, this is the desert where it's okay to come in here and just tear the place up for sand or anything like that. So, that's great. Don't want to make the mistake, again, of stepping on something that is somebody else's area. Alright. Desert Temple, we all know what's down there. So I'm going to head down here and get it. Okay. Here's a little bit of light. Get down here. Okay, we've got sand, gold, some string, bones, iron horse armor. Okay, that's cool. And yeah, I'll take the chest too. And we'll break that. More of the same. Gold horse armor, gunpowder, protection 1 book. Okay, cool. And sharpness 1 book. Alright, I'll give up some dirt for that. An emerald. Give up a sapling for that. And let's get these chests. And then, of course, the toy surprise inside. Really, that's an evil surprise there, Bojang. Alright, I'll give up a stack of cobble for some TNT. Alright. Not bad. So that's pretty cool. Nice haul. Some good stuff. And I'm even going to throw down some torches in here. Just to keep the spawns down. Alright. Not bad. Pretty good haul. Got my cactus. A little bit of gold. That's almost worthless. The string is pretty valuable. I should probably throw the rotten flesh away, but then there's that thing where there are villagers that buy it. Exactly why, I don't know, but they do. Chiseled sandstone. I'm going to drop one of those. Well, I'll drop the sticks in exchange for the reeds. Alrighty, here we are. Just coming up on the village. A little bit of an elevated farm here. Okay. I see my first victim, or excuse me, villager. Okay, but you need to back off over this way. And there. And we'll need to do something like that with everybody. I don't suppose you want to just kind of be nice and cooperative and go into your house and go, oh, I guess it isn't this. Green-robed villager. Oh, for crying out loud. Are you the nitwit? I remember reading about you. He doesn't have a right-click menu. Oh, man. Okay, you, I don't care if the zombies eat. I really don't. Okay, this guy's in the house. The house is conveniently buried. So, that's cool. The entry's buried on that side. How about here? He's still got his little farm-like thing. Get out of the way, sheep. Okay, you guys can stay right in there. Oh, come on, my timing should have been better than that. Whatever. Okay, we got another guy over here. Alright. Push him in, box him in. Throw a torch on there. And just make sure he's all safely secured. That way they're available. Obsidian. I've never seen obsidian in one of these chests before. And a player head. And an iron sword. Okay, well. I don't need the chest right now. Some ferni, a couple of blocks of lava. Not a whole lot to this place. It looked bigger from a distance. I guess the biggest thing about it is the farm. Well, certainly not going to worry about the nitwit. If that's what he is, I remember reading about him in the wiki. Or someplace. Alright. Well, there's somebody in there, so. Oh, and you actually have a door with access. Oh, not anymore. You stay in there. Alright. I don't think there's... Oh, wait a minute. Yes, there is. Alright, how about we do that? Push you in there. Get in there. There. I forgot to put one on top. There. I think that pretty well takes care of everybody. Great. Yeah, now when I'm ready to do something about a villager breeder, I got a few people to work with. I just hope they don't breed more of him. Ugh. Because from what I've read, the nitwit is like totally and completely useless. He doesn't have any trades. Alright, nobody apparently lives here. Or if they did, they're in a box. And I've already been in there. Alright, cool. Alright. So, I am going to go back to spending a bunch of time mining. Not only do I want more of the diamonds, and by the way, I did come up with a mending book for the mining pick. I'm up to Fortune 3, Efficiency 4, Unbreaking 3, and Mending. And I got the Sharpness 4 and Fire Aspect 2 on the sword. The shovel just has Unbreaking 3. Nothing else is enchanted yet. But I'm going to get working on that probably fairly soon. The main thing I'm doing right now is a lot of mining, because I am going to need a royal load of cobblestone, smooth stone, and so on. And so I am mining almost as much for the cobblestone as I am for the diamonds and other stuff. So I'm going to go back to doing a lot of the mining so that I've got enough resources for the first of the major builds, a mob farm, which I want to get started on as soon as possible. Okay, one last thing I want to cover is, as you may know, in the last few weeks I have been bringing back to active status several series that kind of fell by the wayside last December when I got sick for a month and a half. And tomorrow, on Monday afternoon, which is probably later the same day that this video goes up, come to think of it, the last of those series will be coming back, and that is City Skylines. And that also marks another milestone for me, because I am going to be trying, once again, to do a schedule. What I'm going to have is, in the morning, it will either be Hermitcraft or my single-player Minecraft world. In the afternoons, I have an assortment of things here. Mondays, City Skylines. Tuesdays, TFC Modcraft. Wednesdays, FTB Insanity. Thursdays, Empyrean Galactic Survival. Fridays, TFC plays Direwolf 20 1.7.10 pack. On Saturdays, the single-player main world. first world, as I often call it. And on Sundays, Banished. Now, with Banished, there is a choice, and I am very interested to hear viewer feedback. Because the choice is the old save that I had before, that I was playing before. I still have that save. I was looking at it earlier today. And if that one is chosen, what I would do is, in the next episode of it, do something of a light history of that town and how it got started and how it's grown and so on, and then we take it and go on forward from there. The other choice would be a new world, and I'm interested to see what you all have to say about what you think would be better. And yeah, that's pretty much what's going to be going on, and I'm hoping that this time I can make the schedule stick. It would be very refreshing if I could. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here.